Hey everyone, Miranda Pitrone back here with you to do another mandala video. I have a nice molded stone here from the Happy Dotting Company mold, and I already have my center dot. And I'm using white, the pearl white from the Dazzling Metallics. I'm just going to mix between dotting tools and paint brushes for this one and just create kind of like a nice snowflake type design. So I'm just doing my typical mandala center. We have the large white in the center, and then you create a plus sign at your 90-degree angles and go off center to the 45s for the other ones. And I'm just using the smallest dotting tool that I have right now. And I kind of like using the light blues mixed in with whites and silvers to just kind of give that frosty cold effect. And then this was just a little bit darker with a little bit of turquoise mixed in. Coastal waters. And this one is a multi-surface paint, but it works really well on these stones. I didn't have to add anything to it. And I can still use the dotting tools. And then this is a nice little silver for the next round. And just in the interest of full disclosure, I know a couple people have spoken to me recently about their frustrations about my going too fast now in the videos. And if you're new to my videos, I usually pause it in between rounds of paint just to let those dots dry so they don't bleed into one another. But also that way you guys can pause your video and I'm not making you watch paint dry or taking up bandwidth on the video. So some of these are the multi-surface, but they have worked really well. It's Decoart has a couple groups that they're putting out for rock painting type paints, where they have a neon set, they have a bright set, they have a pastel set, they have a group of paints they titled Galaxy themed paints, and they're a lot of fun to check out, but I find they work really well. In the past I used multi-surface ones from other companies. I found them to be a little gooey, but these ones have great consistency and I haven't had a problem yet, nor have I had to add anything to the paints. So I'm just putting some little dots in between here. And now I'm going to go to the largest dotting tool I have, which I think is like 3 millimeters. I'm just really mixing it up on this stone with a bunch of different types of blues and silver, whites, cold colors, giving it that frosty look for my snowflake idea. Now I'm going back to the really small dotting tool that I have that I call it my etcher. I actually broke the ball off the end, so it's kind of pointy at the end. And it creates decently small dots, just like when I have the paintbrush. I'm just going to go around these large dots with some smaller graduated dots. And I'm just working my way around the stone to do the same thing around each of the larger size dots. Not sure if you can hear, but my dishwasher has a piranha, it's called, in the bottom, but it's going a little crazy today. Apologize if there's background noise here. Excuse me. Alright. So we're going to go back to the white pearl now, I think. And just with one of the smaller ones, not the smallest, but it's got a small ball on the end of it, I'm just going to go right at the top in between each of the larger dots. Okay, and now I'm just using my paintbrush, and I'm going to grab a little bit of paint, the same color white, and just do a couple dots down in towards the center of the design. And you can just use your smallest dotting tool if you don't have brushes. Just grab something small to do those little dots. I'm just going to do, I think, 3 around the outside of each of those, just to kind of start making it look like a snowflake. And I think I'm actually gonna bring that white design out a little bit farther and do 3 more dots around the first 3 that I did. So directly in line with the top center, and then 2 on either side. And it kind of helps make it look like more like a snowflake branching out type. Okay, I think I'm gonna go with this true blue. It's a little bit darker. And again, it's one of the multi-surface ones, but even with a brush you can just kind of spread it around. But it's a nice bright blue. And it's a little bit thicker, so you do have to just kind of push it around a little bit with a paintbrush. Okay, so we'll just go around each of these larger dots, stealing some of the color from the dot itself and just going around, so with the same true blue. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the blue that we used for the other ones. That's kind of the lighter blue. And do a round of little dots with the lighter one. And that one's the Decoart Americana Winter Blue. I appreciate you all being so patient with me for editing this and getting it out. The holidays kind of caught up with me quicker than I thought. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving if you're in the US and that you had good food and got to see family. I did get a couple more of these brushes over the holiday week, so I'll put a couple in my shop as well. Unfortunately, the post office, it got mixed information, so again, I apologize to you all, but they told me it would be a certain price, pretty cheap, under $3 to ship to Canada and the UK and Australia. And then I went to ship them, and the next person said, nope, we have to claim customs. It has to be a package. It's going to be $14 to ship this paintbrush. So it turned into quite a big mess at the post office. I even talked to the postmaster, and he said I was just given the wrong information by a couple of the people, unfortunately, and that if we're shipping a product, it has to go through customs. Otherwise, we run the risk of customs confiscating the item, and then we're losing out on the money and the item. Because they necessarily won't send it back, unfortunately. So I didn't want to chance that, but as I've said in the past, if anybody can find an inexpensive way to ship the brushes, I'd be more than happy to send them out for y'all. But I've also been doing little painting kits, which may be more cost effective if you're looking for dotting tools, or I've been even selling the angled dotting tools with a bend at the end, or stones, and any of the supplies that I have, even some of the paints. I've been selling those in my Etsy shop, so keep an eye out, and I keep restocking when I can. Even these great little wood cutouts for seasonal things. I found some gingerbread men and hearts and stars and Christmas trees. So some of those have gone into some of the kits too. Alright, so this is another one of the multi-surface paints. It's a nice aqua. I'm just going to do a large size dot at the end of the white little dots that we did. This one's a little bit thicker. I just want to make sure I get them the right size. Also, these lovely stones have a nice rounded top, like a dome. Just want to make sure it doesn't dribble down the edge here on me, which is the benefit too of the multi-surfaces. They're a little bit thicker, so they don't tend to run down the side. Okay, so we'll go back to that silver again. Just went all the way around with the silver to tuck in those spots, but I think I'm actually going to do a silver here at the top too. A little bit larger. Okay, so this is the cotton ball white, and I'm just putting some tiny little dots in next to the silver, kind of in a tripod shape. So 2 in between and then 1 above, just in a triangle. There you can kind of see it starting to shape kind of like a doily or snowflake. Just debating how far down the edge I want to go here. It's also sometimes I'll prop it up on things so that I can make it a little easier. So I'm just going to stick this stone under here like this to be able to get at the edge a little easier. I'm using the ice blue metallic now. I'm going to do a large dot at the top of the silver one that we have here. Excuse me. On these edges too, I really just want to take my time to make sure that I get the dots the same size and that I don't put too much so it dribbles. I love this icy blue. Okay, so we're going to go back to some of our lighter colors now to outline this nice dark, rich metallic blue. I'm just dotting it. Dip it once and then the dots get smaller as I go around. I'm just pushing down hard at the top and then less as I go around so the dots get smaller. I was talking to my family the other day and they were saying they already have over 2.5 feet up in northern Vermont. Does anybody else out there have snow right now? Thankfully yesterday I got out and actually got to rake all my leaves. We have had snow, but it hasn't been warm enough. Cold enough to stay. The ground is still warm, so it melts pretty quickly. And I also hadn't gotten a chance to go and rake our leaves. We had so much rain and then right into snow, so. Fall went by way too fast for me this year. I didn't get to enjoy as much of the colors as I would have liked. Don't remember my name. When my hands don't play the same way. Used to listen. When you're so my mind memory. People fall in love in mysterious ways. So part of a plan. Making the same mistakes, hoping that you understand. I'm not used to painting on the edges like this as much because I always try to find flattish stones, but I know these just look so pretty when they're done. It is quite a challenge, so I applaud all of you who have been doing these handmade stones for a while. They do come out so pretty too. You can see the whole design from the sides and the top. Okay, so I have, this is the neon blue from the neon line that I was talking about earlier. It's nice and bright too. They stay bright even without varnish. I think I'm gonna add this baby blue in also.
I will wait for you.
Just to kind of lighten it up around the edges a little bit here. And I'm going a little bit larger with my dots just to have a different effect. That's one thing you can do to change up your mandalas too, go changing the sizes of your dots. Large, small. I love how it kind of looks like beads beading up on the edge.
I will wait for you as long as I need to. I can say I'll be here for you. I will wait for you as long as I need to. I can say I'll be here for you.
I really like how the light shows up against the dark on this too.
I'll be here for you.
Alright, so just a couple more here to do. Our kitty's being noisy. Maybe he's hungry. Everybody always wants to get on the video. I think our hedgehog is the quietest out of the whole family. Her name is Rosemary, and she never lets me pet her. My daughter can pick her up pretty easily, but I always think, oh, I'm going to hold her, and then no. Those spines are not comfortable at all. Alright, just going to finish up this last one here, and I'm thinking I might do another branch of white or silver in between. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the white here, and we'll do kind of a long arm branch of a snowflake here. And I just started with a larger one at the end and work my way towards the center of the design again. I think I have 5 on this one. We'll try to fit 5 in all the way around. And it doesn't have to be exact. Some of them I might not get that many, but I usually try to fit the same size design all the way around. So yeah, I think that'll do. I'll put 2 little dots on either side here and here, just to kind of branch it out to fill the space a little here on our snowflake. There we go, our little snowflake stone. Hope you enjoyed doing this with me. And again, I thank you for being patient. We've had a lot going on this season. But I love you all. You're awesome. Feel free to check out Instagram and Facebook and subscribe to my YouTube for more. Happy painting. You can see it from all the angles this way, maybe. I'm really kind of excited with how this one came out. Have a great day.